Hello, I'm Debbie from Let's Localise again, and today I am here with Chris Dyson, who is the head teacher at Parklands Primary School in Leeds and a long-time supporter of Let's Localise. So hello Chris, how are you today?
How are you, the lovely Debbie? And hi to all the guys at Let's Localise.
Lovely to see you. Lovely to get the chance to talk to you. I've seen an awful lot of you on social media recently, but it's nice to talk to you face to face.
Oh, we always like to share a bit of the love and try and put some smiles on people's faces in these difficult times and things. So
yeah, you seem to be doing your very best to keep the teacher and head teacher community laughing and smiling.
well, it's when you've got a bit of snow, you've got to take advantage and try and do a headstand in the snow. That seems to put smiles on faces last Friday.
Yeah, that was a good one, certainly. Yeah, I'm sat in the south of England. Unfortunately, we just have horizontal drizzle here. Nothing that you can really do a headstand in.
Oh, you can try it in anything, believe me.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. So, how has the last few months been for you? It's been a bit of a weird one, hasn't it?
It has been a really different, difficult, challenging sort of time the last year. I'm slightly different to a lot of head teachers, not all head teachers, because this last year has been the best year in my education life. You know,
Really?
we're running a school for a community. We're meeting the needs of the community needs. We're not chasing kite marks. We're not chasing healthy eating marks. We're not focusing on just on exams, tests. We're looking at, in these crisis times, what the community needed. And on lockdown one, it was food. You know, we had the disastrous Eden Red voucher schemes, and I promised my parents on day one of lockdown that nobody would go hungry whilst schools were closed. Now, they were closed a lot longer than we thought they'd be actually closed, but you know, the way in which as a head we had to lead, I had to sort of lead and work together with different businesses and organisations to make sure my promise to the parents came true. And on one day back in May, it was the single greatest day of my life, and that includes my children being born, because on one day in May, we had a challenge to distribute 35,000 meals in 3 hours. Now, obviously, if you can remember back to lockdown one, forget the weather today and things, but May was quite hot every single day. So we'd liaised with the Real Junk Food Project, a brilliant charity that puts foods into bellies, who liaised with McCain's over in Scarborough, where they gave us 35,000 meals, which we were distributing amongst all our parents, all our community, all Leeds. I had buses coming in from Wakefield, from Bradford to come and collect all this food. And we did it. We did it. Again, as I said, with the logistics of it, you know, it was 19 tons of food, 19 tons of food. And the week before, I suddenly thought, am I going to get all that food off a lorry? So again, I had to work with the brilliant guys at Leeds City Council to get a forklift truck and a forklift truck driver that would actually get all the things off. I had to work with Dennis Distribution, who gave me a refrigerated sort of truck to bring all the food over from Scarborough over to Leeds. And we pulled it off, you know, and the parents were so grateful. The smiles, they were queuing 2 miles down the road and things. So that was a really great challenge. And then, of course, we came back to school in September, even though we never closed, because I've been in here every day since February half term last year. And then we had new challenges. Some great things occurred, such as the DFE had funded the Open National Academy, which did these fantastic online lessons for children to do at home on lockdown. But the problem was, and this breaks your heart, in communities like mine, only 18% of the children actually had a laptop or the internet at home. So although there was this brilliant resource out there for everybody to use, unfortunately, if you didn't have a laptop and you don't have internet connection, it was no good. It was going back to the old-fashioned paper copies and things, which just leads to boredom. So that's where the great Gurav and the great guys at Let's Localise came in.
Yeah, I'm glad we've been able to help you.
So, well, it was amazing, you know. Gurav, pre-lockdown, it got us to work with Monthy Panesar, you know, one of the greatest England spinners of all time. And he was supposed to be coming up to school in December to come and do some sessions. Then we were planning to go on tour, take a cricket team down to play a school down in the south of England.
You'll still get your chance to do that, I'm sure.
Oh, well, he's a friend for life, and he is now. But then Gaurav said, what are you going to do about your laptop situation? Because originally the DFE had said we're allocating laptops to the most needy children. Now I'm on 68% free school meals this year, which means that the majority of my children needed a laptop. So I was quite pleased when the DFE first announced that we was going to get 67 laptops. I thought, well, it's better than nothing. I can work with 67. We've got me 35 in school, so you know I've got 100 laptops I can use and things.
How many children do you have at the school?
380. Now it's funny because when I first started here there were 220, and now we've got waiting lists of about 40 children for every single year group. The most subscribed sort after school, because everybody wants to come to the lovely Fun Palace on Fun Day Friday when it's best seats in the House Assembly, all hashtagged. So then it was October half term, and I got an email from the DFE. And I thought, oh, got an email from the DFE, brilliant. It's going to be good news coming at 6 o'clock on Friday at half term when everyone's shattered. And he said, brilliant news, the government have secured another 200,000 laptops. So check on your emails to see what your new allocation is. So all excited, what a great start to the holiday. I'm there, I'm logging on. And my laptop allocation had been slashed from 67 to 3. What am I going to do with 3 laptops when I needed 228? 3 laptops.
Myself there.
I was absolutely mortified. So I put a tweet out. I took a photo shot of the tweet, which I don't know I should have done on a Friday night, because the next day I was live on ITV News, live on Sky News, live on Look North. I was on every single news channel at 3 o'clock that afternoon, whichever one you flipped on. My mum absolutely adored it. She's seen me more during lockdown on the telly than anything else. So, and the offshot of sort of those interviews was it hit a chord with people. You know, it's all right. The day before this email came on the Friday at half term, Gavin Williamson and the government had made it law that remote learning must be a good offer for children in the case of a lockdown or a bubble bursting. So on the one hand, you're saying everybody's got to be on this online learning, and then the following day, you've got 3 laptops to do it all on. So that level field, that playing field between the advantaged children and the disadvantaged children, built up a bit, was inevitably going to grow. So we needed partnerships. We needed somebody to take an interest and somebody to care, basically. So one of the first people to get in touch with me after the interviews was Gaurav, and he said, "Look, let's see what LetsLocalise can do for you. Let's see what the community can do in a time of need." But you know, it's not the Second World War, this, but we've had nearly 100,000 deaths now. You know, it's a really horrendous time, and times of trouble, everyone's got to come together. You know, COVID sadly doesn't leave the rich and wealthy and just attack the poor and vulnerable. It attacks everybody, and I think people came to realise that. So the great guys at LetsLocalise managed to get us a whopping 45 laptops, you know, which we could set up for the children, which was absolutely brilliant. And then the DFE, not unlike them to do a U-turn, did another U-turn and said, we've got some more laptops now, so we're reissuing your original allocation. But I went back up to 65. I didn't complain about the other 2. I thought 65, that's great. So that gave me 110 laptops with the LetsLocalise people. And then on top of that, I had another 25 laptops and tablets donated from businesses all around the country. And it's really touched, you know, it's made such a difference to these children. Because for my own children sat at home today, learning from home, they've both got a laptop, they've both got gold standard broadband, they've got access to brilliant lessons, and that's fantastic. But for my beautiful kids in my beautiful community, if it wasn't for the businesses and the LetsLocalise and other such great people, you know, they wouldn't have had the opportunity, and that gap would have grown. But now I've got happy children all at home, tapping away, uploading, work onto seesaw, they're learning things new all the time. The parents are happy because we've got a really structured 4 hours learning a day. Because we're using recorded lessons, if they're sharing a laptop still, they can do different times during the day, so we're not touching the live lessons. But, you know, you guys have changed lives for the better, and I can't thank you guys enough, to be fair.
Oh, thank you so much for that. I understand you're having another one of your online quizzes as well.
Oh, an online quiz next Friday. Friday.
Yeah, so, I understand you're the defending champion.
I'm the defending champion. So I think you came second last time, didn't you?
Second or third, something like that. Yeah.
I came up on the rails.
I'm going to have a go again, see if I can win another prize.
And that's what I try telling schools, you know, let's localise. I get the advantage of having Monthy Panesar laptops, and now we're going for dongles and the sort of free Wi-Fi in the homes.
We're working on it. We're working on it. We're looking at some dongle providers.
But there's some schools that have lost financially a lot during this crisis, and they've tended to be more your leafy lane schools, you know, who have a really proactive PTAs and other such things, which obviously during this time they haven't been able to do the fundraising. So for those schools, it's been absolutely brilliant because they do a quiz night for the entire school community. Some schools charge £5 to enter with a nice bowling party or £50 in cash for the winner and things, as long as they don't get a laptop. And it's brought a great income stream into these schools to replace the money that's being lost with lack of fundraising. And as I said, we do our quizzes here at Parklands, but we do ours free. We get great prizes and give those out. And it was funny because on the first time we did it, there was only about 18 parents that did it, because I think they were a bit worried. Like me and you now on a Zoom, and people would be looking at them. But the quiz is just outstanding with, you know, multiple choice. You do it in your own time. It opens at 6, closes at 7. So there's no pressure on. And we ended up with about 80 people on last time. So roll on next Friday. Yep,
I'll be there. I'm going to see if I can knock you off the top spot this time. And no, I haven't looked at the questions in advance. I wish I could, but no, they don't let me cheat, I'm afraid. Yeah. So it sounds like you're really enjoying your time with Let's Localise then.
So I'm loving everything about Let's Localise, everything here at Parklands. We've got this new interactive fun fitness game that we've got in school now that the children are just coming down to play on. All the staff have been on it at break time and lunch times. We sanitize everything after though between the groups to keep it COVID secure and things. So, but no, staff morale is exceptionally high. I'm lucky enough that I've got two teachers in every year group in school and 2 at home. So one's doing all the phone calls to make sure the children are okay, and the other is getting all the remote learning ready for next week when they come to school and deliver it, whilst the teachers in school this week will go home next week to do their remote learning from home. So staff morale is exceptionally high, lots of laughing and giggling and smiles. The parents are exceptionally happy because as well as doing the lovely food hampers, we're giving free fruit and veg away in addition. Working with a magic breakfast, we're taking 2,000 boxes of cereals, 1,000 boxes of Scottish porridge oats, 1,000 litres of Tropicana orange juice, 1,000 bagels from Bagel Nash Company. And these are going home every week, so I get this delivery every week, which is given to the community and the wider community as well, you know, because although we're Parklands in Seacroft, we like to look after Seacroft as a team.
That's wonderful. Really, really lovely to hear how you're coping with all of this. So
and in a minute, when the next set come out, you'll see the children, and again, children in school. I've got 78 in, which is about 20% of my school population. But there's laughter, there's giggles, there's smiles. They're so grateful to be in school. They're so happy to be in school. You know, so absolutely, we're making do the best in an awful situation, and trying to put smiles on faces and things. So.
You certainly are. Thank you very much for your time, Chris. I know you're busy. I mean, I can hear from everything you've said how busy you are. So thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with us.
Absolute pleasure, Debbie, and big love to everyone.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Bye.